got 30 days. So today we're going to do just a quick little video on some of the stumbling blocks that we start to experience in our practice. We're getting into the end of our later end of our first week, and we're going to start to see all of the excuses come up. Our schedules are going to get more filled. We're going to start to find that the practice might become a little bit more challenging because we'll be going on those days that, we're still a little achy and tired from the practice before, or we can't fit into the class that we want to get into, so we got to do the class that we don't necessarily want to right now. Might not be at the time of the day that we would prefer to practice, etc. So today what I thought I would look at is some of the stumbling blocks that we're going to start to unravel and hopefully surmount and bypass and clean up a little bit as we start to traverse into this sort of first and second week time. The first thing is we want to always make sure that, did we take time to breathe today? Okay. We will take time out of our day to rake our yard of leaves. We'll take time out of our day to make sure our laundry is done. We'll take time out of our day to vacuum the house. We'll take time out of the day to do the dishes. But when we commonly don't take those 10 minutes that we should to just sit and breathe and clean ourselves up. Okay, both of the sort of tension and the anger and the frustration and maybe any of the tiredness that we start to experience when we get a little bit cluttered. Okay. So when we come into those places where we want to pause, we want to see, am I being peaceful? Am I being grateful? What is the general energy feeling of my body when I sit and just observe? And this really helps us understand our baseline for when we come to our practice, because some days we are going to have less energy and some days we're going to have more energy. And our yoga practice should work with that. Okay, if we're suffering from getting over, there's been a cold that's going around, some people have been experiencing flu symptoms, and what if? And these are the opportunities for us to take a look at our practice and how our practice is actually going to create more balance in our lives. So the 5 stumbling blocks that we really want to pay attention to are areas that can be corrected and areas that can be surveyed in our body and in our practice. And the very first one is disease and pain. So if you are a particularly unhealthy person, or if you have some not such great comfortable practices in your asana stuff, like if there's a lot of discomfort, we want to watch, even things like headaches and indigestion and how that really interrupts your concentration. And so when we come and when we don't exercise, it actually makes things a lot worse because we're not moving that sort of energy around. We're not cleansing ourselves of that negativity. We can try to eat and consume healthier prana, which would be better breath techniques, or eating more vibrantly energized food. And these are going to be ways to help us through some of the disease and pain that we may experience in our physical body, in our heart, and in our mind. The next one is mental laziness. And while you can come to a yoga practice and the teacher can encourage you, it really is up to you as the practitioner to sort of check in with those times that you are becoming lazy in your practice. There's a teacher who I did a workshop with once. His name is Michael Lee, and he owns a studio in Arizona called Phoenix Rising Yoga Therapy, I think it was. And he liked to talk about how we refer to ourselves as educators versus teachers. And teachers sometimes comes out a lot because a lot of people do refer to us as yoga teachers. But as much as I can, I like to try and call us educators. And educators really are responsible for helping pull information out that is already kind of there, helping you to be able to figure out the knowing that you have within yourself rather than putting information into. So it's really starting to look within to find that inner teacher to help you be able to recognize those times when you might not be working to your potential. And so mental laziness is one of those times that you really have to call on that inner teacher to be able to have the discerning understanding of where or when you are not fully maybe practicing honesty or truthfulness with yourself. So mental laziness is our second stumbling block. The third of our stumbling blocks is doubt. Doubt is very harmful to us because it literally can cause our experience to kind of become dead, and it just sort of stops us. The good thing with doubt is that it is one of those things that we can learn to float through. And so doubt and not being able to believe in your potential or stand in your power is going to be our third stumbling block for this practice. The fourth stumbling block is lethargy or drowsiness. So this clearly is just going to pull your energy levels right down. Or it's really hard to get that sort of kind of rock rolling up a hill thing going. And it takes a lot of extra work from us, but it literally will take any activity you do, whether it's baking a cake or doing a yoga practice, and the results of which are going to be, sorry, somebody just rang in on my phone. Anyway, the results of which are going to be very minimal compared to what your potential could be. And the last and final of these 5 stumbling blocks is negative emotions. Negative emotions hog prana. They harbor a lot of inner demon, and negativity will only attract more negativity. So if you're sitting in this place where you're constantly kind of going in this circle where you're like, I don't understand why this always happens to me. I don't understand why I'm reliving these experiences. I don't understand why these people keep taking advantage of me this way. I don't understand. Really pay attention to the emotional quality that you're bringing to any situation yourself. So the negative emotions, when you dwell too much, quite typically are a result of a past experience. And this is why it's so important that in a yoga practice we focus on being present. Because when you're present, there is no expectations, there's no preconceived notion of what is going to happen or where you have to move to. So when we land presently, even though we may have had a bad experience in a past posture, or the last time we did headstand we rolled out and we felt really embarrassed, or the last time I parked my mat at the front, I wasn't able to keep up or work to my potential and I got really dizzy and tired. This can actually stop you from trying it again, and it creates these blocks from maybe you stepping out of your box and doing something again even though it felt like it might have been a failure the first time. So negative emotions and how the past plays into our current state is very important. Most of our experiences, we literally what's the word I'm looking for? Most of our experiences are created based on our past or our expectations of where we're going, and they're not really giving us time. We're not taking the time to actually see how it feels and to trust the messages of the body. So yoga teaches us how to sort of move through some of the stuff that we may get stuck in the past, and how to stay out of the stuff that actually isn't real yet, that hasn't happened. It's not that we don't have dreams, it's not that we don't have aspirations, we just don't live today for those all the time. We always find space to live for today. So those are the 5 major stumbling blocks. That's 10, but 5 major stumbling blocks. And so I'll leave you with just a brief reading that says, one of the greatest yogis once said that the most effective antidote to fruitless indulgent and negative emotion is the relaxation of the body combined with slow and deep breathing. As your muscles relax, tension leaves your body and your mind, which gradually becomes calm and once more under control. So, best of luck with today's class, and I'll see you on the mat. Bye.